Thank you very much, Dr. Ali, and all the engaged team for this kind invitation. Let me first introduce myself. I'm Dr. Sadiq Khalil Abid, PhD in Heritage Conservation from Sheffield School of Architecture, and postdoctoral research fellow from Nahra Network, and now working a consultant at Iraqi Prime Minister Office. My presentation about the heritage management in Iraq, challenges and required solutions, a case study of Rashid Street. First of all, I'm going to explain a journey in Iraqi architecture and urban heritage. And as we know, the big variety and diversity of archaeological and historical sites in Iraq. We talk about the earliest civilization first developed and more than 6,000 years ago, with lots and lots places there, and a large region of cultural heritage is currently under threat for political and civil war and government policies relating to as well socio-economic development and globalization and cultural heritage challenge. And as we know, these some pictures to show the diversity of, for example, from Sumer, Babylon, Ashurian, and then jump to the Islamic heritage, and some lots of shrines in Iraq and traditional buildings. As we know, at the international level, UNESCO is still responsible for the World Heritage List, and now more than 1,000 sites are listed around the world, but unfortunately only 6 of which are in Iraq. And some of these sites is still under threat. For example, Hatra and Ashur have been discarded by the ISIS, while Samarra now is too close to the conflict area. As well as we have up to now around 11 sites listed as a tentative heritage list. Let me talk about now the challenges faced by Iraqi architectural and urban heritage. I find some challenges faced, but the biggest challenge faced our local heritage is wars. As we know, for example, Iraqi and Iran wars from 1980 to 1988, and then the Gulf War, the first Gulf War in 1991, and popular uprising in 1991, and then the Gulf War 2003. These actually would all together put heritage sites under threat, although the international conventions have been calling for protection of cultural heritage in all circumstances. It has been said that in any war, the first casualty is the truth, and the second often cultural heritage property. Because but unfortunately, for example, these pictures show how we lose lots and lots sites on the ground. These wars put the Iraqi cultural heritage under threat, and even after 2003, the Daesh, for example, in the north of Iraq, destroyed lots of sites. And then October uprising in 2019 also threatened some sites, and these pictures from Rashid Street. The second challenge is the policies and politics, and at both national and local levels in Iraq, there are no clear policies or legislation for controlling development or conserving built heritage. The other significant problem is up to the present, there is no clear listed building system at either national or local level has been put in place. And this has led to the change of use, demolition and refunction of many historical buildings without attention to their potential value. Can you hear me, Dr. Ali?
Yes, doctor. Everything is okay.
Okay. Yeah, because okay. Let me go.
We are silent because we are listening.
Okay, that's good. Because I'm scared about the technology and the internet. Anyway, and these policies and politics, actually overall, the national and local heritage has suffered from the lack of a clear development control system, and this has led building owners to make decisions based on their own financial interest. The other point, the level of understanding heritage, I can, in Iraqi communities, feeling that the new is more valuable than the old. Actually, this is a big issue, and this has been brought about a number of factors for the political situation before and after 2003, a lack of government attention on heritage and a clear documenting system, and etc., etc. And in summary, Iraqi heritage protection system is still unclear, and there is a lack of information, criteria, and the process. Actually, what is needed is a single, clear, and active designation system to protect national and local heritage, because without a designation system, we can't protect our heritage. Actually, currently, Iraqi communities do not participate in making planning decision, and this has led to reduce the understanding of heritage. However, from my research, I found local communities have an awareness regarding the need to protect national and local heritage, and this is actually a very, very important point. Now I'm going to speak about the structural governments and its intentions. In institutional framework in Iraq, there are some different points. There are different institutional framework in Iraq dealing with conservation, management of cultural heritage, such as the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Antiquities, the Ministry of Municipality and Public Works, religious endowments and authorities, education system, and non-government organization. This power struggle between these different institutions, local and central authorities, impeded the prospects of partnership and or the creation of status. Local authorities have to take over and full gap when they can't wait for the Ministry of Culture. Actually, currently a significant rapid loss of the traditional urban fabric, vernacular styles, and archaeological sites, and because of these sharing responsibilities. For example, this current heritage responsibilities show how the decision making between different and for example, there is an overlap between the central government, the Ministry of Culture, and between the local government or provincial councils. Because after the 2003, we have a new key power on the ground as a local government. And this actually the main problem is that in some cases the decision come independently and decision makers do not speak to each others. This is what I'm saying. Before 2003, only the central government was the key player on the ground. After 2003, as I said, local government show a new a new power on the ground. In terms of the historical surviving responsibilities, also it's different from the Ministry of Culture is the biggest responsible to protect historical and this, and then for example the Ministry of Municipalities took place about the urban planning and etc., and to the landowners. And this, in terms of this diagram, shows the listing responsibilities also differ from case to case, and show the Ministry of Culture is the main organization responsible of listing heritage sites or buildings. And in terms of the local listing responsibilities, still the Ministry of Culture is the main responsible, but here we can find the local government is, his responsibility is bigger than, for example, the Ministry of Municipalities and Public Works. All together actually make some, because of this, we every single day we lots and lots our heritage sites. In terms of a critical review of Iraqi heritage infrastructure, I can state that in terms of the physical fabric, the rapid change in land use, heritage destruction, there is no clear heritage protection, as I stated before, and no clear process to explain which building should be listed, protected, managed, etc., etc. Actually, to make a conclusion before jump to the case study, it has been found that there is no clear implementation strategies have been adopted, nor any type of collaboration between these decision makers established. Therefore, decision makers and stakeholders do not understand heritage values when controlling development. In other words, there is a significant degree of overlap in managing heritage. However, the final decision makers usually act independently and do not speak to each other. Actually, there is a need to address the overlap in order to solve and these problems. Now I'm gonna to jump to, and very quick because we don't have enough time, to shed lights about Rashid Street. It is one of the significant streets in the core of the historical Baghdad. It is this street was the first opened in 1916, and in 1917 it was the first street to be electrically illuminated in Baghdad, and it has a special character and of particular interest because it has a historical, cultural, and political value. The street has been neglected, abandoned, and in very bad condition up to the present. In terms of the historical buildings in this area, and we have more than 262 buildings, and we can see the variety of the mosques, shrines, schools, khans, and houses, and some other buildings. And this map show in the red line the historical buildings, and the light the heritage buildings in this area. Up to present, the Rashid Street lots and lots problems. For example, environmental and location problems, and the street skylines, and there is no clear skylines, and some buildings, the high buildings, affect the its skyline, and the absence of the street furniture as well as the lack of green areas and public spaces, and land use problems, and the transportation problems, and opening time. Now, Shara al-Rashid, it's open from 7 a.m. and till 3 or 4 p.m. and then it's very clear, and there is no we absent the nightlife, and there are lots and lots and lots of structural problems. And for example, these two pictures show how these unique buildings and suffer from neglect. There's some pictures. I took it, I think, last year. And I gonna speak more about the unclear conservation plans on the ground. These some examples of what happened on the ground. Actually, there's some in a local initiative to protect these buildings, but the problem, they don't have the value and the process of the conservation on the ground. So these examples, they try to repaint these facades as a conservation plan. As well as in the Rashid Street, we suffer from using the new materials. So now this is شركة تأمين العراقية, and how they use this polycarbon material to use it, and actually all together, actually it's retain the local heritage. In terms of the general aims, we should think more about protect and develop the street through maintain and conserve the buildings and its surrounding area, develop the riverbank to sustain and improve the downtown, develop the infrastructure, street furniture, car parking, public spaces, etc., etc., highlight and protect the historical pathways, develop and manage the transportation system in the area, and understanding of conservation plans, document, designate and protect the whole area, and update the documentation system, and remove all the extra visual to conserve the townscape, control the land use, and prevent any other functions. And this actually I want to summarize what I present in terms of the government authorities seems unable to the destruction of heritage. Can you hear me?
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah. The government authorities seem unable to stop the destruction of heritage sites, or at least to control the new construction inside the cores of historical towns. It's need real collaboration among all the national and local institutions to control all new development projects, particularly in the historical sites, and reactivating or setting out new legislation which encourage heritage protection is important, and it would be erroneous to dismiss the power of the government from the conservation framework, because the Ministry of Culture is responsible of giving the permission of any new construction or maintenance work. Actually, I can state that the weakness of urban governments in Iraq in 3 main points: a lack of institutional capacity and quality,